All right, we're back with a friend of the show, Matt Walsh, who is reacting to John Oliver's video he did a couple weeks ago of Clarence Thomas. I'm sorry, this is our second take because I forgot to record. But a few weeks ago, he did a video of Clarence Thomas, and he basically, John Oliver was saying that if he retires from being a judge, that he'll give him $1 million a year, I guess, for the rest of his life. And Matt Walsh apparently
also a motor vehicle,
a motor
RV,
truck vehicle,
motor
whatever
vehicle.
Clarence calls it, because he's real particular about it. And Matt Walsh, I think somewhere in his video, is comparing what John Oliver did to
buying slaves.
Buying a slave. So we're gonna hear his thoughts and see if there's any merit to him,
which I doubt.
Which we doubt, but you know, this may or may not be on Patreon, depending on how long it is. So just in case, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon.
For sure. I'm TK. You know what? Let me go back. Like, comment, and subscribe. So I did it right on the first
You
take.
He did. It's on me. This is on me.
Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm TK, aka the Arnold One.
And I'm Darius, aka the one who threw it all away.
and this is Mind the Gap.
So that's the offer. $1 million a year, Clarence, and a brand new condo on wheels. And all you have to do in return is sign the contract and get the f off the Supreme Court.
What's dope about that? When he threw the money, he threw a little bit up, but a lot of it came down.
John Oliver, maybe more than I despise anybody in media. For me personally, John Oliver is especially obnoxious. And I think it's that while being a dim-witted hack like all the rest of them, he also pretends to be a comedian. That's the part that offends me on a personal level.
For one, John Oliver would tell you, "Hey man, I'm not funny."
Yeah,
he tells you that. And for two, that man's funny to me.
He's funny. Look, I understand John Oliver may not be your cup of English tea, but I find him entertaining, especially in the format that he does it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't expect somebody like Matt Walsh, who's a failed comedian, to understand what comedy is. I mean, and a lot of times you see people like Matt Walsh, people like, what's his name, Steven Crowder, people like Ben Shapiro, who try to go to Hollywood. They don't make it, and they end up doing grifts. So I expect them to have this opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't even surprise me.
It goes without saying, of course, that if any white person did exactly this same thing, but directed it at a black liberal instead, then they would be condemned as racist by the entire media and everybody on the left.
How?
And, you know, they would be trying to put him in jail probably for it. And it would, you know, because obviously, right, you got a white guy trying to buy off a black public official. It's openly saying this guy's for sale. I'm buying you as a black.
Because it looks like that.
Because he looks like he's for sale. I don't understand what his point is. The point is that
I think he's skipping the fact that like Clarence Thomas has been accused of like, he's been taking trips with billionaires and stuff and been offered stuff. Like, I don't know if he's watching the news enough to know why. Did you even watch the
I don't think he did.
Did you watch the whole John Oliver thing?
I think what he's doing is the thing I see when they do on the right is they need a little bit of something to be able to say, oh, they actually do it too. So instead of like, you ignore all the nuance or the facts of the situation, you just say, oh, he white, he black, y'all doing the same thing. And it's like, no. You completely ignore the context around of what's going on right here.
And you know what make it crazy, Brett? These guys be the same one talking about, I don't like identity politics. Them be the same one. And here you are doing that exactly that.
Just pinpointing, oh, this looks bad.
Because you're not saying
this was me doing it, and it'll be something like blah, blah, blah. No, it wouldn't be, because as long as the facts remain around Clarence Thomas are the same, it would still be looked at the same way.
Okay.
Like he's just
black public, I'm going to buy you. And in any other context, that would be, it would be considered to be just
false.
There's only one context that matters.
Racist. But those rules are suspended, of course, because it's Clarence Thomas, and they despise him, and they despise him, in fact, significantly more than they despise any white person who has the same ideas, or even any other. I mean, you might like. Why are they so hung up on Clarence Thomas? There are other conservatives on the Supreme Court.
He flamed their ass too.
I don't know if reliable ones, but why all this special vitriol for Clarence Thomas? And the answer is that because he's black, and so they consider his conservatism to be sort of a betrayal.
Incorrect. It's incorrect. It's like he ignored that whole
He didn't
segment.
watch. Yeah, ignored it. Clearly he didn't watch.
He clearly chose Clarence Thomas because he seems to be the most corrupt member of the Supreme Court justices. And he also, like you said, he listed out a lot of stuff they was doing for everybody that was on there. But Clarence Thomas seems to be the most corrupt.
Even the one, I think one of them, I thought it's not that funny, but one of them, he died before it came to him. Like he died in the place where he was getting benefits from. It was like one of the other judges.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll find a clip and send it to you. But that's like the whole, like he talked about all of them, but like what all the ones he felt like was corrupt or had evidence against them that they had looked, or that it made them look like they took, money or something, or they been unethical.
Yeah.
Or more so. And Claire Thomas seems to be the one that's the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you ignore all of that, if you ignore that whole segment he gave you of several examples of Clarence taking benefits from, like, what's his name?
The dude that liked the Hitler stuff, the guy that, come on, man.
I mean,
he had the dude's shirts on. He had the shirts, like the shirts.
He had the man's shirts on from the retreats and stuff.
The family, I think, is like mom's, is like the street. It's like the houses or the street that his mom and his family live on, paid for and stuff like that. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
His wife sent the text about January 6th.
Yeah.
And he's on that
committee.
That was like, man, you shouldn't be on that if your wife is doing this.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All that. And he's overseeing several cases that these people who giving him gifts, like,
he's taking trips, or he's hanging out with.
I don't. Like, that's the reason why he picked Clarence, because he seems to be the most, one that's likely to take money and do something for it.
John Oliver believes that he owns Clarence Thomas. He believes that Thomas, being a black man, belongs to him ideologically.
Hey, pause that real quick.
And the fact that he isn't
No.
What I don't understand is that you can do reaching like this, right? You can reach and stretch your arms to find this right here, and you can play identity politics. You can say that though John Oliver didn't call him the N-word, John Oliver didn't say, I own you like a slave, or I'm trying to buy you like a slave. You understand that. But when a black man is killed in the street by the police, you don't understand, did he use the N-word towards him? You don't understand.
You don't understand racial dynamics then. But when it comes to situation where you gotta overstretch yourself and pull a muscle, all of a sudden you
see it.
You Rain Man, and you put stuff together. You just see numbers and stuff. You're able to put that together.
Like, come on, man. That's what I don't like, bro. You see it when it's for you, but when there's actually an issue out here that's being dealt. So how do you feel about the billionaires that seemingly buying Clarence Thomas too? How do you feel about those people? How do you feel about that?
Harlan Crow, that was his name.
Okay. How you feel about that? How you feel about what he's been accused of?
His own man.
Tell us
his
that.
Own point of view sends guys like John Oliver into a rage. Just the amount of undisguised contempt that they have for this guy.
And I forgot. It's not in the concept. Apparently, he doesn't understand how slavery works either. Because first of all, I don't need once I buy a slave, that's my slave.
I don't need to negotiate.
Yeah, I don't need to negotiate. Second of all, he's not paying to own that man. He's paying him to retire. He said, if you sit this one out, I'll cover your retirement. How is that the same as purchasing a slave to work for you?
That's probably why he has so many issues with understanding like racial issues and stuff like that, because you don't understand it.
I mean, starting with the fact he's calling Clarence Thomas by his first name, not using his proper title, spitting in his face, basically, calling into question his basic integrity as a man. And he feels absolutely entitled to do all of that because Thomas has betrayed him by not being a Marxist ghoul. Now, you know that I'm not one to do the whole Dems are the real racist bit. That's not my That's not my thing. You know how I feel about that generally.
Okay.
But in this case, you really just can't help but notice that John Oliver literally treats the guy like an escaped slave.
Doesn't know how literally means. I don't need to pay $1 million to get my property back. Does he know how slavery works? I'm not paying my slave $1 million to come back to me.
I mean, that's...
Somebody examine this man's head, boy. This is the reason why people started to think that slavery wasn't that bad. Because you guys stupid ass people
Come on, man.
Comparing slavery to somebody trying to retire somebody.
Critical race theory, man. That would have helped you. That would have helped you. Now you and your kids is going to be...
He's trying to buy him back. That's what he's doing.
You don't have to buy a slave back.
He's doing all this while being painfully unfunny on top of it, which is the real, which again, that is the
real
pause
offense. That, man.
We ain't gonna make it through it, bro.
Look, stop calling that man. Stop saying that man ain't funny, bro. I don't care. I don't care what side of the aisle you on, bro. If you watch a few episodes, you be like, okay, that's funny.
Because even all this, even everything else, you put aside how morally objectionable it is. If he was actually able to do it in a funny way, then you could at least give him credit. I could say, well, I disagree with it. I might even have moral qualms with it, but it is funny. I'll give him that. But you can't say that because there's no joke here. Which is why, I made this offer on Twitter yesterday, and I'll just reiterate it here, that here, we have the offer being made to Clarence Thomas. I'll make my own deal to John Oliver, which is, John, I will give you $1 million in cash, unmarked bills, if you can tell one funny joke. Just one.
I don't think he can afford it. I was just saying, I don't know this man that well, but I don't think he can afford it, because I don't think he's had as a successful career as John Oliver at being funny.
And by the way, it should also be said that yes, that whole segment was a federal crime. Just that small little detail. So openly bribing a federal official.
I watched the Legal Eagle, and John Oliver said himself, this is not a crime. Apparently, I'm able to do this. And if he would have watched, he would have known.
Yeah.
That, listen.
It's not a crime.
No, it's not.
It's not a crime unless you're paying an official to go against his elected duties.
Yes.
What John Oliver essentially did is the same thing a lot of men do when they get with a woman and say, you get with me, you won't have to work anymore.
Yeah, basically.
It's what he did.
Basically.
If Clarence, if you accept this deal, I'll retire you.
I think the legal dude I watched, he said something. It has to be like you paying him to do something
on his job.
Yeah, on his job, or malicious or something. Yeah. It has to be. I'm paying you to do something.
Yeah. I'm not paying. John Oliver is paying him to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the same. But of course, I don't expect him to be able to know that, because I don't think
the same guy who said there had to be millions of people taking these.
Instantly wrong.
It was like 4,000.
Yeah, on Joe Rogan, instantly fact check.
I still think it's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. So I mean, I don't expect this brain to be able to comprehend that, because he sees. Apparently, he's demonstrated he sees things in a simplistic manner. White man, black man, money, slave. So we already know that his mind works in a simplistic way. So I don't expect him to understand that nuance of that law.
This is why, as a nation, we just behind. We just behind on everything, bro. We just.
This man has a show.
Which I don't mind, have your shows on the Daily Wire. Hey, man, you have your own stuff, man. But this is my problem is it's not him, right? He's gonna continue to do this as long as people watching, and it's our fault too, because we're reacting to it, right?
It's everybody's fault.
It's everybody.
I don't give anybody. It's his fault because he know what he's doing, or he's too stupid to know what he's doing. But
you can't blame him if he's stupid.
Yeah, I can. Anyway,
you can't blame him, but you be reprimanded. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we kind of doing, laughing at. I'm just saying, man, it's the people watching and believing them. Like this logic makes no sense. I
would be okay with that if we weren't at a point in society where politicians are telling what people believe, and not vice versa. Like it's people like him that are this man made this a highlight of the show. This is a clip. This means he thought this was so good that this should be a highlight of the show. It'd be a clip on its own to feed the people. And that's what people gonna gravitate. You see, they doing it too. Because at a certain point, when you realize people aren't smart enough to think for themselves, when you keep feeding them the same stuff, you are also the problem. That's where I'm at with it, man. What y'all think, man? Y'all agree with this man? Is John Oliver offering Clarence Thomas a deal that if he retires and does whatever he wants with his life, is that the same as him buying a slave?
I don't even care about that because we all know Matt Walsh is full of shit, right? That's not even a thing that we were gonna do. He needed content, so he found it and he talks crazy like that. And the people that watch him is gonna bite on it. My thing is, do y'all not think John Oliver funny? That's more important to me than what. I don't give all that because I ain't no way you watch that whole, even in that Clarence Thomas episode, bro. You had to at least admit that man was cooking his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like that was funny. I find that to be I find John Oliver to be funny, even if I don't agree with him.
Yeah. I
think the way he got his setups and his punches, I think it's amazing. I don't even always know it's coming. You know what I mean? So that's what I would like to know in the comments. In the comment section, can you please let me know, do you think John Oliver funny or not? For me. Like, comment, and subscribe. You got
we done.
Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm TK, aka the honored one.
And I'm Darius, aka the one that left it all behind.
And this is Mind the Gap.